Welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So I'm sitting here cruising on one of my favorite sites, McMaster Car, shopping for some bits and pieces for a new machine that came to the shop. So this is a Meatloaf episode. It's going to be a big fat meatloaf since we missed last week. Number 86. We're all the way up to 86. And we've got a new machine to show. I've got some books that I purchased, and a couple of viewers actually sent me a couple of books, which is cool. What else? Oh, we got some new tools, new hand tools, new measuring tools that we're going to show. So this is going to be chock full of fun here. So let's flip the camera around and let's go look at some of this stuff. Okay, so this first one, this is an eBay purchase. And what these are, this is a set of radius gauges made by Pratt & Whitney. And let's take a look at them here. And I don't know if you can see this very well, but the little snaps here have this very cool little emblem on them. It's like a bunch of feet going around in a circle, which is kind of cool. So I just noticed that the other day. So let's take a look at these. This is a large radius set, or like radius gauge set, and you know, in my so I purchased these off eBay, but you know, buyer beware. There's one missing here, okay, and these were a bargain. So if you have to buy these brand new, they're pretty expensive, and going up to 1 inch. These go up to 1 inch, and got some Dicom or something on it there. Yeah, it looks like Dicom. I didn't look at that. That's interesting. Okay, anyway, so these are hardened stainless steel here. Now these are decimals. So these go from 0.550 up to 1.0 in 50 thousandths increments. And I have an old set that I've had for a while. That's similar, and this is this is a Lufkin set here, and this is a fractional set that's complete. Now I was gonna pass these on one of these sets, since I got a pretty good deal on this. This was like $40 here, which is pretty screaming deal, but it's missing one, so it's kind of, you know, I don't know, the chances of finding one of those are pretty slim. That's the 950 one, I think, that I'm missing there. Yeah. Oh no, there's 950. So 850, 750 is what's missing. Yeah. Okay. That actually makes sense. The one that you need is missing. So anyway, I think I'm just going to keep this, and it's kind of in between some of these sizes a little bit. So I'll have two sets there, but anyway, it was a good deal. These pop up on eBay every once in a while, and they're kind of nice. They just extends the range of your radius gauges when you're checking stuff. So Pratt & Whitney large radius gauge set. Okay, so this next one, this is a book purchase off of eBay, and this has been sitting on there for a while, and actually the guy wanted he wanted a pretty high price for it, and you know, and I've been burned a little bit on books on eBay. You know, they'll show you the one really good picture in the book, and then so you get all excited about it, you buy it, and it turns out to be a dud, right? So what I did was I just kind of watched this for a while, and then I made the guy an offer, which was about half of what he was asking for. So I offered him, I think it was $25 is what I offered, and that included shipping. But anyway, he accepted the offer, and I got the book. This is a pretty good little book here, and it's got the guy's name on it. Somebody that owned this book before, Harvey Barnett, and let's see, what's the vintage of this? 66. So there's some pretty good stuff in here. In particular, some of the stuff that I liked was describing the guy that wrote this here, Senator Ralph E. Flanders' autobiography. It's a little excerpt from it, and apparently he served an apprenticeship at Brown and Sharp. This is the maker of this book here, in the summer of 1896. So it kind of describes his work day and how his dad had to put up a stipend to get him into the apprenticeship, and the so this is 1896. The stipend was $100, which was no small, you know, that's probably like 10 grand today, or more maybe, as a kind of a guarantee that his son would complete the training. So, but anyway, it's an interesting little read here about that. And then the other thing that I really liked was there's a discussion about craftsmanship, and which is always something that I enjoy reading about, is what that word means to other people. So it's always kind of neat to see that. Anyway, it's got a lot of stuff in here, you know, basic machine shop stuff, and shows some cool machines, and just talks about general shop work, and you know, this was probably an accompaniment to the apprentice toolkit. So there's some lathe tools, forged lathe tools and stuff. So pretty cool. So if you see a copy of this, you know, it's a good book to add to your collection. So the Brown and Sharp Young Machinist Handbook. Okay, so pretty cool. There's the back cover there. So I have I don't think it has an ISBN number. No, it's previous to that. Okay. Okay, so this next one here. I hadn't seen this book before, and a guy that I talked to on Instagram a little bit, his name's Alex. He picked up a copy of this somewhere and was showing some pictures of it on Instagram, and I said, "Oh boy, I think I need that book." So anyway, I went on Abe Books and poked around, and this was $8 plus $6 for shipping or something like that. So it's a book about metrology. It's kind of, I would call it a little bit of a sales book in relation to Doall products. This is one of their little height stands here that they're kind of showing off, and then there's some other gauging things that are specific to Doall that they're kind of showing in use. But that's okay, that's fine, I can deal with that. It shows some methods for different kinds of gauging problems and whatnot. Now what's interesting, let me go, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time in here, you know, books are tricky to review on camera, so at least I think they are. But this is what I wanted to show here, and hopefully, let me check the viewfinder, make sure this is going ballistic here. Yeah, okay, you can kind of see it. All right. So here what we have, and I'll just go through it real quick, is we have the international standard, which is of length, which is a certain number of wavelengths of light. And how that gets to us in the shop is via gauge blocks. So these are calibrated by the National Institute of Standards. And so this is how this information, this length standard, gets to machine shops and workshops, right? Is through gauge blocks. This is our most accurate standard that we can have. And this branches off into what we call fixed gauges here, and then measuring instruments, right? And then this all comes together to do production, okay? So you can calibrate and fabricate fixed gauges from these, and you can calibrate and fabricate measuring instruments with these length standards. So it's kind of an interesting way to think about it. So this is how this information gets to us in our shops, and how we assure that we're making something the same as maybe Adam or Keith or one of the other guys is making, you know, that these things go together, is that we have length standards. And when you start thinking about it, that this is very, very important stuff. So anyway, that's a great little illustration there of how that kind of works. So anyway, that's the Doall book, Science of Precision Measurement.
I got this one for about $8. I think they're pretty common, so not hard to find. Another good title to have in your mechanics library if you're into that kind of stuff, okay? And Alex, thanks for pointing that out, appreciate it. And keep showing me the goodies you find. Gives me ideas. All right, so this is another eBay purchase, and this is gonna blow your socks off here. This is a pretty trippy tool here, and I got to thank a friend of mine, Gordon Long. He bought a pair of these too recently, and I didn't even know they existed, but I immediately saw the utility of it because I've run into the same the kinds of problems that this would probably solve. Anyway, he showed me his, and I said, holy smokes, I didn't even know those existed. So very patiently I waited on eBay, and a set came up, and so I made sure I got them. But let's take a look at it. All right. Now, you know, first you look at it and you go, so what's the big deal, right? It's a pair of calipers. And you're right, it's a pair of calipers. But they're kind of special, all right? So let's pop them out and you guys can get a look at them here. The first thing you notice here is that it's got a tubular barrel, right? So they open up, you know, and you can, let's see, you can measure something here, right? Okay, you can measure something, all right? And and it does, you know, inside here and outside there, right? Okay. Now it's got a neat, it's got a small diameter rod, which is kind of nice for depth measurements, and it's got this nice big round base to sit down on if you're taking depth measurements. Okay, so and also let's pull some of these little accessories out here. Has some little accessory dealy boppers. We'll look at those in a second. This one's kind of neat. So this one here kind of looks like a height gauge scriber. Well, that's exactly what it is. And that little monkey goes in here like that. Let's see. All right. Oop. All right. Put that back in. All right, let's get this out of the way here. And then what we can do is set this down like so, and set that down. Alright, and now what we just created here is it's a little height gauge. Okay? Whip. Alright. Now, this is, you know, it's not the maybe it's an advantage, okay, that it has a small base like that, but now we have a height gauge here that we can redirect, okay? Actually, does it redirect? Think about that. Yes, it does. So it's ½ inch, right? 1 inch. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it does redirect. There's no math involved. There's no offset. So yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? So anyway, so it's got that. That's kind of neat, right? All right. We're not done yet. This thing is this is like the James Bond calipers here or something. So so now we can put these guys on, and I believe these go like this. Yes, let's go like that. So these are little scribing points here. You know how you know, people scribe with their calipers, right? I'm fumbling here. I should have got these kind of ready to go. Ouch. Those little points are sharp too. All right, let me slide down here like that. Okay. So now well, I don't have it down all the way here. I don't know what's going on. Hello. Huh. All right, Mr. Wizard, what's going on there? Didn't like something there, huh? Do I not have it on the right way? Oh, I guess I just didn't have the screw out all the way. Okay. So anyway, now you got some scribing points, and those happen to be on center of the jaws, so you can just set them. There's 1 inch, and now I can swing a circle, or I can scribe a couple parallel lines or whatever. Okay. So let's take those little deadly shark teeth off of there. So now, still haven't shown you the absolute coolest feature of these, okay? Calipers, okay? Now here's the trick part. Let me take this out of here. I don't want that distracting you guys, okay? Check this out. We loosen this screw, and now we can oppose those jaws to one another, okay? Up to 90 degrees, okay, from one another. So what that means is if I have something here and I have something over here like so, right, I can orient the jaws in a much more favorable position to take those measurements, right? This might not be a really good example here, okay? Maybe off the end of the vise to something that's in the vise, right? You might want to take a measurement like that, okay? This comes up every once in a while where you can't hook a micrometer on it, and calipers that have parallel jaws like that doesn't quite work. You know, you're kind of in there and you're just barely on the tips or whatever. If you could just rotate these a little bit, you'd be in the sweet spot, right? Well, these you can do that, okay? And that's what's cool about these guys here. This is the trick feature right here, this little rotating jaw, and this is all ground and preloaded and everything, so it can rotate on that and not change length, okay? And so yeah, actually I can. You know what? This probably goes all the way around, doesn't it? You know what? I didn't even try. Yeah, I can go. Okay, so screw it. I can go 180 actually. So there's a good one, right? You can hook on something and go on there, so you can go 180 if you wanted to. So pretty wild, huh? Yeah, it goes all the way around. There's nothing that's keeping you from doing that. And it's got a little scale here, so you can set it back to 0. Although it's pretty easy just to squeeze them and orient those. But they feel real good. They don't have a thumb roll, it's just a slider here. So these are 190-101s. There's the number right there. I don't know if you can see it. And there it is on the box, okay. Oh, here we go. It's in the box, 190-101s. I paid $89 for these, or with shipping, I think, $90, something like that, which is not bad, and I don't know what they cost new, but I got to believe that they were at least that much new. But very kind of obscure tool, and very unique, kind of specialized. So maybe somebody that's doing some work out there has has a situation like that comes up, and that'd be a very useful tool. So anyway. Thanks, Gordon, for showing those to me. Awesome. All right, this next one comes to us. This is a viewer appreciation gift from Eddie Pishala out of Chicago. And, how to recognize bozos and avoid them and not become one. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of entertaining and funny. And it's got plenty of illustrations in there. Eddie, thanks for the book. Now there's a section in here you guys will like. So here's bozo cars. Let's see. I don't know, that's probably blowing out there, so I'll just read some to you. So here's some bozo cars. AMC Gremlin, AMC Matador, AMC Pacer, Cadillac Eldorado, Chevy Chevette, Chevy Vega. Now you could argue that one because there's a lot of race cars made out of Vegas. So Chrysler Cordoba, Dodge Dart, Ford Falcon. I might argue with that one a little bit. Ford Mustang. 69 to 81. Yeah, okay, fine. Ford Pinto, definitely. And then some non-bozo cars, BMWs, Ferrari, Ford Mustang, 65 to 66, T-Bird, Jaguar. Anyway, kind of funny. So Eddie, thank you very much. That's a fun gift. You never 7 warning signs of bozity. Bozudi. All right, Eddie, thank you very much. That's a funny gift. Okay, so this next one This next one is this is a handmade gift from a viewer. This comes from Pete Ferguson out of Ontario, Canada, and I actually met Pete in person. His son is wants to go to college in maybe in UC Berkeley or at Stanford, and so they were out looking at schools and just checking things out. And he contacted me, and so we got together for a little snack around lunchtime. But anyway, he made this awesome portfolio for me here, and he's a leather worker kind of as a hobby, and he made this thing and gave it to me. So he snitched the logo off of the YouTube or whatever, and did a really killer job copying it. And this is awesome. I'm going to be using the hell out of this thing. Now, you know, it's going to blow the camera out when I open this up because it's got paper inside here, but I just want to show you the inside. And let's see, yeah, there we go. That's not too bad. I'll get the white out of the frame, and it's got an inner sleeve, and it holds it holds a pad of paper here. Windsor, Ontario, Canada. That's right. Okay. Anyway, Pete, thank you very much. This is real special here. Super nice gift. And I'm going to be carrying that around at work. It's going to replace my old beater one that I have that's plastic of all things, right? You know, I'm almost embarrassed that I use something like that. So, but now I have this cool leather one. It smells great, and it's got the logo on it too. So Pete, thank you very much, and best of luck to your son. And either one of those schools. It's going to cost you a lot of money, but he'll come out and he'll be looking pretty good. Okay, Pete, thank you very much. Okay, so this next little lot here, this is kind of an interesting collection of stuff here. Let's pull some of this out. There's actually a story here. But we're going to talk about this part of the story first. I'm going to kind of go out of order here. This comes from a guy that I met recently off of Craigslist, and he's a retired tool and die maker from, he worked for GM, and he actually served an apprenticeship with Fisher Body back in the 60s as a tool and die maker. And I bought a machine from him, okay, which you guys will see here in a little bit. But he also said, hey, I got, it's a bunch of other stuff I don't need anymore. I'm retired, and you interested in taking a look? And, okay, twist my arm, right? Of course I'm going to take a look. And so anyway, I bought a couple more little things from him, and this is the other things that I bought. Let's do the weird stuff first. These are some little punches, little hex punches or brooches here. In several different sizes here, and they caught my attention because they have a nice round shank on them that you can hold on to, so that you can broach, and they're tapered for broaching or punching, and then they're slightly cupped. So, these are not hard to make, but, hey, it takes a little while to make them, right? So if you can buy them, for not much money, then it's probably a nice thing to have in your kit. So some hex punches there. So here's a ball bearing Jacobs 14N. I bought an arbor for it, so I can use this in the actually in the big lathe. The chuck that I have is quite large, and sometimes when you're working up close to the tool post, that large diameter kind of is in your way, so it's nice to have a smaller one, and now I have a smaller one. So this is I think it's a 3 Morse, yeah, 3 Jacobs, I'm sorry, 3 Jacobs, and then I'm going to a 4 Morse for the lathe. So it had a chuck key and everything, so I don't think this thing, I don't know, it doesn't look like it was ever used. It's in pretty top shape, so okay, there's that. Let's look at these here, because this, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to show these a little separately here, because my buddy Chuck, Outside Screwball, is really going to do a backflip looking at these here. So let's set these aside and we'll take a look at that. Okay, and what we have here is we have another planer gauge, but this one's real special here. This is a universal planer gauge here, and this is the if you're going to buy a planer gauge, get this one here, and there's a couple of features on it that I'll point out. And this is a Starrett, by the way. So it's got the fine adjust. That's the key element there, that you have this very, very fine micrometer screw that you can make little adjustments. And then this has a bunch of accessories here, like a scriber and a little measuring foot so you can measure underneath stuff. And then the little clampy for holding the scriber and all that. So this is the kind of the tool maker version of it. The other thing that this has is, and you can see it here, is it has a V groove. Let's see if I can show that at the end there. It has a V groove, so it's like a lathe bed. So it has a V and a flat. So what that does is it keeps this upper section from twisting. So the other ones are generally just flat, or they might have a V or whatever. So if it's just flat and maybe has a key that goes in there, they're not as, they don't move as straight as ones with a ground groove in them like that. So that's the other thing to kind of look for. So this is a Starrett, Precision Universal gauge, and I don't know, they don't give these away. Anyway, I paid $100 for this whole lot, so I thought it was a pretty good deal. So I didn't argue with the guy. So okay, so let me turn the camera off. I'm going to switch around. We'll go over to the mill actually, because that's where we'll show these things, and then we'll talk about those. All right, what we got here is, Chuck's been talking about these screwy balls, right? And let's see, let me grab a couple of examples of those. So these are these balls with a flat on them that you use for securing stuff in the vise. And then there's a variation on it too that allows you to reach in there and kind of hold on to the thing too. So that's another little variation of that. But what this is an even gnarlier variation, which is pretty cool. And this has teeth on it, as you can see here. And this was made by this guy, Bob Chin. And he's the guy that made these and that I bought these from. And it's got a ball here. And these are hardened and ground D2 tool steel. And they fit together. And now they form a kind of an omnidirectional swiveling chingadera there. So here, let's do an example here. So we got this socket piece here, right? It's got a wanky surface on it, and we want to make sure we're up flat against that vise jaw. So what we can do is pop these little monkeys in here like so, and then try not to pinch your finger. And so what these do is these are kind of like these multi-axis compensators here that oops, okay, there we go. So it can turn this way, and it can also turn this way, right? So it doesn't care what that surface looks like. I mean, sure, if it was at a huge angle, it wouldn't work. But I can tell you that it's up tight against the back jaw there, which is really what we care about, right? So we get this averaging of that surface, and now whatever we mill here will be perpendicular to that average at least, and then we just keep rolling this around until it's nice and square. Let's grab some measurements off of this for fun. Over here. So they're about 3 inches long, and what is that? 1 3/16 thick that direction, and maybe an inch thick this direction. And of course, I tightened it up too much. Let's take a look at this. I think this ball is a 3/4 inch diameter ball, and it's so he said, you have to anneal the ball to drill and tap it, so that's 1/4 20 screw in there, and he's got grippy teeth on it here, so which is kind of cool. But that's kind of a neat setup there, right? And I've seen these before, variations of this, but great little mill project if you want to do a little mill project. And you know, there's a screwy ball for you, a la Chuck. And then that's the other variation. Anyway, Bob, thanks for parting with one of your personal handmade tools, which is great. This puts me closer to you, you know, and very nice work and excellent grinding work. Super nice finish on this stuff. I mean, look at that finish there. Old Bob, he knows how to grind. So anyway, there they are. What are we gonna call those things? Screwy jaws or whatever? Screw jaws? Bite me? I don't know. Anyway, there you go.
Okay, well, that's about it for this episode of Meatloaf. And, oh wait, did I forget something? I think I did. Oh, the new machine. Oh, I almost forgot. Hey, let's spin the camera around. Let's go take a look at this thing. It's actually pretty cool. So I'm real happy about this, and I think a lot of viewers out there will probably be real happy because they'll start seeing a different kind of video coming out of me. So let's go take a look at that. All right, boys, there it is. This is what followed me home this weekend. This came from a retired tool maker. His name's Bob Chin. And anyway, I ended up picking this thing up and bringing it home this weekend. What this is a Taft Peirce high precision surface grinder. And it has about a 6 by 12 or 5 by 12 work envelope in it, and it's got a little magnetic chuck on it. This machine is kind of special. They made a lot of these, so it's not like it's a really rare bird, but they made a lot of them because a lot of people wanted them and they're good grinders. Couple of neat features. This thing weighs almost 2,000 pounds, so where these small Boyer Schultz Challengers and things like that, they're probably 600 or 700 pounds. This is 2,000 pounds. Cast iron, ribbed cast iron, heavy duty column, and it's a roller weigh machine. Look at that, Stan. My arm gets tired just watching you grind on that Boyer Schultz. How about that? Roller weigh. So it's got roller weighs everywhere, and I'll bring you around the other side of the machine and show you some of the other features. It's got these cool fine. They're not verniers, but they're the fine adjust for I always get screwed up on this. This is the Z-axis here. This is Z on a grinder and Y on a grinder. Okay. It has to do with the direction of the spindle orientation and the way they work as clamps. So you know, most people would probably call this Z and X and then Y, but grinders have their own little twist. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. What else? Yeah, I'll bring you around the side of this machine, and you can see this has a couple of real special features on it that make it real pretty cool. So let me move the camera and I'll show you. Okay, so this is one of the special features of this machine here. Is this entire spindle can actually tilt upwards to about 30 degrees, and what this does is it allows you to reach features in one setup that would be difficult to reach any other way. So you can dress the wheel off at an angle and have clearance in the front. It's kind of a unique thing in this type of grinder. You know, well, I don't know. There's probably other makes that have tilting heads too, but this has a tilting head. And you can see this is the column here that moves up and down, that moves the spindle up and down. And you can see how deep it is. This is all cast iron here all the way down. So, and then it has, let's see, yeah, you guys can see that. It comes with, and this came with it. I got it. So, which is really nice. This little guy here, and this is an important accessory here. So this is what this is basically it's a sign plate, and it fits on the
it fits on the spindle here, like so, and then it's precision ground, and you can put gauge blocks under these two features here and actually set precision angles with it too. So now I've seen these on eBay separately, but this one, Bob had it with it, so I lucked out and got that. And there was a few other things that came with it. Now, let me show you what's the matter with it. Nothing serious, but you know, it takes a little bit of work to get it squared away. So let me move the camera. All right. So here's the problem area here. Now this is a three-phase machine, but these guys were running it on single phase, and they've got some kind of monkey quack baloney in here to get this thing to run on single phase. So they've got a couple of caps in here, and anyway, you know, I went in eyes open on this, and this is not serious stuff here. This looks original here, and they've done a little bit of rewiring, which I will yank out and I'll clean up and do and redo. You know, it's a simple machine. It's got one powered feature. There's no coolant pump on this one. It's the coolant pump's gone. It had accessories for coolant pumps, but those are long gone. And so we'll get this rewired properly for three-phase and get it running and go from there. But yeah, this is some some pretty sketchoid electrical work. So I don't know. I'm going to talk to Stan, and this might be a good candidate for a VFD because it's nice to have variable speed on a grinder. You can make the wheel behave softer by running it slower, and there's some other things you can do with variable speed. So might think about that a little bit. All right, so here's the other thing I wanted to show you here too. So this is the up and down here, and so the main dial here reads direct to half thousandths. Okay. So, and it's 50 thousandths per rev, a little more than a millimeter per rev. Now, it also has this guy over here. So if we engage this, engage the clutch here, then we can do very small incremental adjustments here. Now this reads out, actually I was going the wrong way there. So this is going down now, and so this reads tenths, so that's 1/10,000th of an inch. So it reads direct to 50 millionths, and then you can interpolate in between those, okay? So theoretically, in practice probably not, but that's a 50 millionths down feed right there. And that would be 25 millionths, or not much, 1/10,000ths, okay? So, and this axis has this, this direction has the same feature here too, that you can hand feed very, very small increments. And so yeah, that's a really nice feature. So here, this little guy, this is a little, oops. This is one of these little oil flip caps here like this, that's missing its lid, and now I just dropped the little screw that was keeping the crud out of there. So that was a little, so I was ordering a couple of things like that from McMaster Car to replace little knocked off and busted little bits like that. All right, so let's see what else. Let's look at something else. All right, so here's some of the accessories that I got with it. This is a diamond dresser that really doesn't go with this, but it's kind of old school one here. This might be a machine specific one here too. I don't know, you don't see these very often, but it's got a bunch of diamond embedded in the end of it, and this is basically a stop, so you can shove it into a particular depth. So I got some hubs. There's a diamond wheel there, cup wheel. Most of these wheels look pretty bad, and these hubs are kind of seen better days too, so I'll be shopping around for some of those. I think these are little leveling feetsies, you know, for when you go to level the thing. And then I got, now this is a stock Taft Peirce housing here, and this one's set up for coolant and suction here, okay, which is kind of nice too. So it's got two shrouds for it too, which is cool. What else came with this thing? I think that's about it. So I got a dressing diamond. It's got a mag chuck, permanent magnet chuck, brown and sharp actually, a nice little one. And all the guards are there. So, you know, all the bits and pieces are there, which is really what I care about, because, you know, trying to shop for missing parts can drive you to tears. So anyway, that's the Taft Peirce grinder. Yeah, here's one of the other accessories I got with the that surface grinder, and this is kind of an interesting piece too. So this, I don't know if this was an accessory or if this came with the machines or what, but what this is this is for balancing. It's for balancing wheels, okay, so basically it's a set of ways with an arbor, and so you can balance the wheels here. And this needs a little bit of cleaning and whatnot, but I sprayed it with some liquid love here just to kind of loosen some of the cat pee. The guy that had this in his garage, there was some cats in the garage, and they this is one of their favorite spots to whiz, I guess. So. And this is original stuff. It's actually, I wonder if that's laser engraved. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, so this is a nice little accessory to go with that to balance your wheels. This is actually something that's fairly straightforward to make too. It's got a little simple 3-point leveling thing, so you level it out, and then you have a nicely made arbor here to suspend the wheels on, so you balance them. So. I don't know, what else? Not much to talk about on that, so. All right, so here's the other thing I wanted to show you guys. So I got some more pieces rough cut for the etching press, and these are what I call the kind of the shoulder plates. There's a lot of work in this assembly here, so this is going to be the next focus of actually quite a few videos of getting these prepared, and the whole lift mechanism for the bearing housings, which you guys saw, right? Anybody that follows the channel saw this particular thing getting done here. And so let's see, actually let's put the upper plate on here too. It's kind of like that. Okay. So there's an adjusting screw and bearings and all kinds of business here. Keyways and guides for the bearing housing, and a whole adjustment mechanism that's pretty crazy. So a lot of work in these parts. So the steel was burned out by my buddies over at Doall Steel in Antioch, and they work very closely with Advanced Grinding here in Oakland. So they just dropped the parts off at Advanced Grinding, and Advanced Grinding dusted these off for me nice and parallel into thickness. It just saves me a bunch of milling. It was just an easy way to get the mill scale off and get them to the same thickness as these. So they just suck them down to the magnet, and you know, what do they say? Pin them down and go to town, right? Or yeah. So anyway, this is coming up. I just want to let you guys see some of this stuff. This is 1.5" steel, burned out, flame cut. And so there'll be a little bit of milling to clean up the important surfaces here, here, and here. And then there's a bunch of work to get these in shape here. Oh, look at that, nicely done. Okay.